guys, what's up? It's Clay from the Hills Maniacs, and today I'm gonna answer the question in the title of the video. Will Otis cash in his Money in the Bank at WWE Summerslam 2020? Along with answering this question, I will be giving my predictions for the matches that that we know will happen, but who I think will win these matches at SummerSlam 2020. So let's get right into this. The first match I want to talk about is the Universal Title Match. Braun Strowman, the champion, defending against The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. I'm predicting The Fiend will win because they've been setting up the storyline throughout the past couple months, pretty much since Braun won the title, I guess, technically. But they had Braun beat the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt, which was the old version of Bray Wyatt, like when he first started the Wyatt family and all that kind of stuff. That's what he was known as, the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. And then he fought the new version of Bray Wyatt, in the sweater vest. He has not, though, beaten The Fiend. He's never, well, I guess technically he fought The Fiend in the swamp fight, but he's never actually fully, fought The Fiend in a match. So I'm predicting The Fiend will win the Universal title again because of the distractions or whatever of Alexa Bliss, or just the mind games that he can play on the champion, Braun Strowman. So The Fiend to regain the Universal title. That's my prediction. The next match is the street fight between Dominic Mysterio, the son of the great Rey Mysterio, and Seth Rollins, or versus Seth Rollins. So I'm predicting Dominic Mysterio will win just because it is a street fight, meaning Rey could help, Samoa Joe could help. If you've been watching Raw, Samoa Joe was part of the storyline, because Seth was saying stuff to Tom Phillips, I think, on Raw, and Samoa Joe kind of stepped in and got in Seth's face. So who knows, maybe we'll see Seth versus Joe at some point. But I think for it being Dominic's first match and the way they've been building up this storyline, I think Dominic Mysterio will beat Seth Rollins, and have an awesome debut match in the company. So that's my prediction for that one. The next match we're gonna go over is the SmackDown Women's Title Match. Bayley, the champion, is defending the title against Asuka. I think Bayley will retain the title because Sasha will help Bayley win. And I'll go right into the Raw Women's Title match because I think they're going to play off of each other. So the Raw Women's Title match, Sasha Banks is also defending against Asuka. And I think Asuka will win that one. And the reason I did both back to back is because Sasha will help Bayley retain the SmackDown Women's Title, but Bayley won't help Sasha. Whether it's on purpose or by accident, she'll end up in some way costing Sasha the Raw Women's Title. And then they're, as far as I know, they're defending the Women's Tag Team titles at Payback, which is next Sunday. I don't know why they're doing it a week from SummerSlam, but I think they're going to lose the women's titles at Payback. But and then Sasha will end up fighting Bayley at some point for the SmackDown Women's title. It's the only title Sasha needs to be a Grand Slam Women's Champion. And they'll probably have some kind of setup to where Sasha will cost Bayley, or Bayley will cost Sasha her title, and Sasha will freak out because she helped Bayley, but Bayley didn't help her. So they're both defending against Asuka. I think Bayley will retain with the help of Sasha, but Bayley won't return the favor for Sasha, and Sasha will lose her title to Asuka. So we'll move on from there to the United States title match, Apollo Crews versus MVP. Now, Apollo Crews is the champion, and MVP will obviously have Bobby Lashley and the 24/7 champion Shelton Benjamin at ringside with him. Now, the reason I brought up Shelton Benjamin as the 24/7 champion, I'll get to a little bit later. So Shelton Benjamin, 24/7 champion, will be at ringside, and the 24/7 title has 24/7 rules, meaning anytime you're not in a match, you can be pinned for the title. So keep that in mind for later on. But I think Apollo Crews will retain the United States title because the distraction from Shelton Benjamin getting pinned for the 24/7 title by an R-Truth, for example, because I think Truth will win back the 24/7 title at SummerSlam, and with Shelton not being in the match, he can still be pinned, and if he's out at ringside and doesn't see it coming, R-Truth can roll him up, which will distract MVP, which Apollo Crews can then Apollo Crews will then beat MVP and retain the United States title, and R-Truth will win the 24/7 title. So that's my prediction for that. R-Truth is going to become 24/7 champion during the United States title match, where Apollo Crews retains the title against MVP. The next match I want to talk about is the Raw Tag Team title match. The Street Profits are defending the title against Angel Garza and Andrade. I'm going to say that Andrade and Angel are going to win, just because I think they're trying to, expand the tag team division at least a little bit and have different teams fight for the titles. The Viking Raiders have already fought for them. And there's not really any other teams on Raw, so I think they're going to beat the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team titles, which I'm okay with, I guess. It'll be like having Shinsuke and Cesaro as tag team champions on SmackDown. It's just some random team that they throw together because they don't have any tag teams. But I think Angel Garza and Andrade will beat the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team titles. The next match is the hair versus hair match. Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. I think Mandy is going to win because Sonya's been doing all this stuff, like cutting Mandy's hair and putting makeup like all over her face, messing up her makeup, making her look quote unquote ugly on the outside. And I think Mandy will win and get payback on that for everything Sonya has done. Now, on that note, Mandy, as we all know, is dating Otis, who's Mr. Money in the Bank. I think because R-Truth has a track record of running out with the 24/7 title during women's matches. And I think if he wins the 24/7 title from Shelton Benjamin early on, he'll be chased out to the ring during Sonya and Mandy's match, and Otis will be out there, and I think Otis will pin R-Truth and win the 24/7 title. And this distraction will be enough to cost Sonya. You figure it would cost Mandy, but I think Sonya will be distracted because it seems like every time Otis is involved in one of Mandy's matches, Sonya ends up losing because Otis gets in the way. So I think Otis winning the 24/7 title will cost Sonya Deville, and she'll end up losing her hair to Mandy Rose. And then the next stuff I want to talk about, I'm going to go into a couple bonus matches that haven't exactly been announced, but I think will happen. So the first one will be King Corbin versus Matt Riddle. I wanted to add this in because they have been kind of building up a rivalry, and I think SummerSlam will be the night that they fight each other. I'm gonna predict if they do this, Corbin will win because Shorty G will help Corbin because he's been kind of teaming with him, I guess, in the past couple weeks. So I think if they do Matt Riddle versus King Corbin, I think Corbin will win with interference from Shorty G. And then another kind of bonus match I want to mention real quick is the Intercontinental title match. The champion AJ Styles defending against Jeff Hardy. I think Jeff Hardy will win because they've been kind of building up this storyline to where AJ was like being mean to Jeff, and he's, Jeff is trying to prove that he can still do it in the ring. So I think Jeff Hardy will win the Intercontinental title for the 5th time, I think. 4th or 5th. So yeah, those are the 2 bonus matches I think will happen. And now I'm going to get into the final match of the night that we know of, at least, as of when I'm recording this video, at least. Because I'm recording this before SmackDown. So if anything changes on SmackDown, sorry, but I recorded this before SmackDown. But the WWE title match, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Now, we've seen in the past Randy Orton's bring back this legend killer persona, where he punt kicked Edge, Christian, Big Show, Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, I think, unless I'm missing somebody else. But he's been taking out all these legends, and Shawn Michaels with the no-sell on the punt. But Drew McIntyre will beat Orton as kind of like a retribution for this, for him attacking all these legends and stuff. And then after the match, I think Orton will hit Drew with the RKO, and then he'll punt Drew in the head, and Drew will be down. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I mentioned earlier the 24/7 champion is now Otis, who's Mr. Money in the Bank. According to the rules of the Money in the Bank briefcase for this year, the winner could only cash in on his or her, at the time, their brand's champion, which means Otis could only cash in on the Universal title as he is registered as a SmackDown superstar. Now, one way for him to be on either show is to have a title that can go to either show, kind of like Sasha and Bayley, where they're defending the titles, fighting for the Raw Women's title. Even though Sasha was a SmackDown superstar, it's because she could go to Raw, she could go to NXT, she could go to SmackDown because she had the women's tag titles, which allowed them to be defended on any show. The 24/7 title is the same way. It can be defended on any of the 3 shows at any point in time. And so if Otis, who's a SmackDown superstar, wins a title that can go to any brand and has the opportunity to cash in Money in the Bank on either brand's champion on a night where there's both champions are there, I think if Orton attacks Drew after the match and Otis is 24/7 champion, I think Otis will cash in Money in the Bank and win the WWE title, and then he could lose it at Payback. That's why they're doing it next week, probably. But the answer to the question in the title of this video, will Otis cash in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam? I believe so. I think he will, because he'll win I mean, I don't know if the events will play out quite like that, or if they'll just change the rules for Money in the Bank and just let him cash in. But I personally think he will cash in at SummerSlam on Drew McIntyre and win the WWE title, even if it's just for a week, and he'll lose it again at Payback. It'll get rid of the Money in the Bank, and Drew or Orton could win the title back. I think they're trying to save Drew from losing to Orton, but they'll still have Orton win the title, and he could win at Payback off of Otis. So yeah, that's my predictions for SummerSlam 2020. I know the Otis thing seems outrageous, but hey, this is supposed to be fun, and I had fun making this prediction, and I hope it comes true, because I personally would like to see Otis as champion, and they gave him the Money in the Bank, so obviously they saw something in him. So I think they could do something, where they allow him, because I don't think he's going to beat Braun or Bray for the Universal title, unless he waits later on and pins somebody else that wins the title. But I think he's going to cash in at SummerSlam, because where better to do it than the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam. So that's it for my predictions for this video. If anything changes, on SmackDown, then I guess, just we'll know for the pay-per-view, and obviously I can't do predictions for something that hasn't happened yet. So I did pre-record this, before SmackDown. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your predictions for SummerSlam in the comments, and check out Steven's video, which is already up on the channel, where he does his predictions and he answers the questions. Should Asuka win both women's titles at SummerSlam? So thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out what else we got going on, and I'll see you in the next one.